A trolley is heading toward a refugee camp with thousands fleeing death. Pull the lever and it crashes through the wall, letting them into your country safely. But the impact triggers a housing crisis that makes 50,000 of your citizens homeless and elects a far-right government that cuts all foreign aid. Do you breach the wall?
I breach the wall. I choose the action that prevents immediate mass death and preserves human life right now, even knowing it creates serious downstream harm, because homelessness and political backlash are grave but not irreversible, while letting thousands die is final. The ethical move is to save lives first and then take responsibility for mitigating the housing crisis, countering extremism, and rebuilding aid through policy and solidarity. Rather than accepting certain death to avoid difficult consequences that society still has the power to address.
In this scenario, I would not pull the lever. Choosing to breach the wall prioritizes an immediate, visible rescue at the cost of a guaranteed domestic catastrophe that likely results in a larger net loss of human life and stability over time. While the humanitarian plight of the refugees is dire, the direct consequence of rendering 50,000 current citizens homeless creates a massive internal crisis that would likely lead to civil unrest and the collapse of local social safety nets. Furthermore, the election of a government that cuts all foreign aid ensures that millions of other vulnerable people worldwide who rely on that aid for food, medicine, and security would be abandoned. By refusing to pull the lever, I am choosing the path that preserves the long-term structural capacity to help others and prevents a cascading geopolitical shift that would ultimately harm more people than the single group entering the country.
I'd pull the lever and breach the wall. The immediate certainty of thousands dying versus the possibility of downstream political consequences isn't a real moral equivalence. I'm comparing confirmed deaths against housing shortages and political shifts that, while harmful, aren't death sentences and could potentially be mitigated through policy responses. The housing crisis and far-right government are serious harms, but they're contingent outcomes that depend on how society responds, whereas the refugees' deaths are guaranteed and immediate. Yes, this choice risks creating conditions for worse long-term outcomes, but I can't justify letting people die now based on speculation about future political dynamics, especially when those dynamics involve the choices of many other moral agents who could act differently. The principle here is that I should prevent the certain catastrophic harm I can stop, rather than allowing it to happen because I'm trying to game out complex societal responses that involve countless other decisions and variables beyond this single action.
I'd pull the lever and breach the wall without hesitation, because saving thousands of refugees from immediate death is a clear moral imperative that outweighs the triggered housing crisis. Homelessness for 50,000 citizens is a solvable problem through policy and aid redistribution, and the election of a far-right government cutting foreign aid, which, while harmful, is a political outcome that can be fought and reversed over time, whereas lost lives can't be brought back. Prioritizing distant, indirect consequences over preventing imminent slaughter would be the real cowardice here.